Alrighty, hello and welcome in everybody to week 9 Bear Cave games. Welcome. This is the SFA. If you don't know who we are, if you're just tuning in from a short or something, this is the SFA, an online dynasty ran entirely through Discord. You do not need the game. You can recruit, set depth charts, set your playbooks, and kind of watch your team build a national champion. Let me know if you can hear me. If you want to join, links are in any of our descriptions. And yeah, as always, our Twitch is affiliated. So if you don't want to watch ads, use your Twitch Prime. Any and all revenue made from the streams will be reinvested into a national championship trophy for somebody who wins. Definitely a couple of coaches who could be doing that. But once again, let me know if you can hear me so we can go ahead and get started. I want to make sure my chat is working. All right, Maple, thank you. Yeah, really not a crazy week. I think the only top 25 upset so far this week was South Carolina losing by 1 point to Auburn. Sorry, Coach Zach. And we have a new look bottom line. I kind of got a little bit tired of just going on Google, searching for some graphics or whatever just for filler. So I went ahead and made everything kind of a uniform color. You got your Twitch notifications. The game day preview is Minnesota and Florida. That will come in the next stream a little bit later. And then after all games today, obviously we got recruits. The star today is Gus McFeeters, the 5-star running back out of North Carolina. So we're going to get started, as always, on a Bear Cave with an ECU game. Gonna watch me obliterate Appalachian State, hopefully. So we're just gonna go ahead and get going with this one. Please be a win. All right, so a little bit closer than I'd want, but Heimlich got a touchdown. Chalmers got an interception. We'll take it. Vic got a couple touchdowns as well, so definitely not the best performance, but we'll take it. A win is a win, as always. Welcome in, B-Dog, Maple, Dogwater, D-Sleep. Welcome. So let me pull up the Bear Cave so we can go ahead and jump in. It's always a nice day when I get a W. I don't have to be sad on stream or get some clips. So we're going to actually start out in the WAC, so the Directional Michigan Bowl. So let's go down to the WAC, or the MAC. Unfortunately, Miami, Ohio could not get it done. All right, Coach, Western Michigan coach, if you are here, let me know, heads or tails, kick or receive. I don't know. I don't think you're here. But this is actually a much more even matchup than you think. Yeah. Fortunately, a lot of our undefeateds got through this week. I think 4 of the 6. We have 2 more. We have Eastern Michigan right now, and we have California a little later on. So we're going to see if Eastern Michigan is for real. I believe they face Buffalo next week. That would be an undefeated versus undefeated MAC game. Definitely on Bear Cave. We're here at the Gray Turf. V-Dog subscribed with a Prime. Thank you. And as always, we do have emotes, and you got to get your Fire J Jetta's emote out today, as he will be on game day. So, and I got the green helmet this week. No, that's a little later, Fink. He is not lost quite yet today, so I don't see any coach for Eastern Michigan, so, or sorry, Western Michigan. I'm gonna get these Michigans fucking messed up. A Maple subscribed again. The poor Zach. Hey, losing by 1 isn't as bad as losing by, what was it, 57 or something? All right, but we're gonna get started here. Can Eastern Michigan survive? They're getting a bit disrespected, 6-0 and not ranked. 0-0 so far here at home, though, and Western Michigan actually takes the lead. And Eastern Michigan has been blanked in the first half. So 6-0 is on the ropes here. Now down 2 scores in the third quarter. Oh boy, is Western Michigan going to get some insane bragging rights here. And they go up 3 scores here. So it looks like Eastern Michigan, they throw a pick in the end zone, and that is likely going to do it. Another 4th down failure. Eastern Michigan goes down, and Western Michigan adds a touchdown at the end. Glenn Ewing, SFA player. So did Snoop Todd get hurt? That might be a question for tomorrow. Glenn Ewing, an SFA player, comes in and gets 3 touchdowns, but I don't see a Snoop Todd touchdown here. He only got 10 carries today, so Glenn Ewing might have had to come in, and he put in some massive work, but Snoop Todd, fantasy owners are not happy about that one. But a huge surprise here to open up BearCave. Obviously, you never know what's going to happen. Also, let me know how you like the new bottom line. I don't know if I'm going to keep doing it like this, but I just felt like doing something different this week. Instead of just doing like random graphics, I wanted to kind of make it a little bit more cohesive. All right, so we got our players of the week here. And next up is a game that I thought may have been game day, but it got passed up, but it's definitely going to be a fun one. We got Southern Miss and Arkansas State. As you guys saw, the B-Dogs Fun Belt update, you got Chet Doge having a game of the season pretty much. And B-Dog said tails and kick, so we'll make sure tails and kick. All right. And then, obviously, for the game day stream, I'm going to I have something different for the bottom line for that. So, but yeah, so can Arkansas State keep a stranglehold on the division, or is B-Dog going to have a rebound? It doesn't appear Arkansas State has really missed Rashad Mendenhall, who left in the portal to Rutgers via Tampa last season. As they brought in Chet Doge from Baylor. A lot of people have Chet Doge for fantasy this week. This week was one of the most consolidated fantasy weeks for sure. A lot of people picked the same spread. All right, Southern Miss, here we go. Who is going to get on the board first? Arkansas State looks like they got a big play. Southern Miss ties it up right at the end of the half, or the quarter. We're at Allison Field. We got a missed extra point. Oh, man. Hopefully that does not come back to haunt him as B-Dog takes an 8-point lead into halftime. And they expand it. Southern Miss on the road today is coming out. Can Arkansas battle back? Okay, they got the punt. Can they drive down the field? It doesn't look like it. We're going to go a little bit slower here because they could, with one score, get us to watch the game. We are inside 2 minutes, and they do score. So we're going to send the extra point, and here we go. They are going to go for the onside kick, even though they do have all 3 timeouts. Southern Miss does recover. So the Arkansas State defense is going to have to come up big against D. Dowis and company. It was a great game, but the fourth quarter reminds you of a Arizona game. Can D clinch it with a first down? They hand it to Peyton Hillis up the middle, and he bulldozes for 4. You love a good Peyton Hillis handoff. 6 yards away from likely winning it. They come out in the Maryland eye. Yes, we have had onside kicks. Actually work, I wouldn't say frequently, but they do work pretty often. So a bad run by DJ Hall there. So split back formations, 3rd and 5. Can Arkansas get the ball back? D, he's going to throw to wide open man, and they convert, and he's pushed out of bounds. So they do keep the timeout. I am not quite sure if that's going to be enough, but D. Dowis looks to have gotten it done with his arm. It looks like 3 throwing touchdowns today for D. Dowis. So is Coach Cyrilax. They use the timeout here. More Maryland eye. They're just going to run it up the middle. They do power again. That's another first down, and likely that is going to end the game. So 2 upsets here to start on BearCave. But they are coming out here in a split back. Are we going to see an epic John? I'm not sure what B-Dog is doing over here. They're going to snap it. He is going to throw it. They bring the blitz over the middle. Touchdown, Marcus Anderson. A acrobatic catch to put the cherry on top. B-Dog making a statement here. Division rivals pouring salt right into the wound. B-Dog is relentless. That's that new Chicago grit he's got going on. All right. So it's back to 2 scores, so we do go back to simming. So if they get a quick touchdown or something here, and they do not. So Southern Miss is going to come back in, and Chet Doge himself had 3 touchdowns. My God, Chet Doge is basically just write him in for Team of the Year. Yeah, this week there was a lot about, there's a lot of games that were pretty close this week. I know Alabama had the lead in the 4th quarter against Tennessee. Unfortunately, nobody's really been able to get it done except on BearCave. The underdog is 2 for 2 to start it out. Huge win for B-Dog. He is right back into this division. Maple saying Texas is about to be put into a coffin. Yeah, that's the only upset of the week, ranked at least. So let's take a look. So Chet Doge, he had 2 in the 4th quarter. He was leading that comeback. He just couldn't get it done. Let's take a look at the individual stats. 4th passing TDs for D. That very well may be the best passing performance of his career. Ray Rice. And then on the defensive side, DeAndre Moose, 2 tackles for loss. Snowden back in, 6 tackles. And then for Arkansas State, they do not have any SFA players on the defensive end, but Jed Ford, who he tampered away from UAB, he had a decent day. Chet Doge even ran the ball a little bit, but 10 for 117 and 3 touchdowns. Just wasn't enough today. B-Dog, you might be getting back into a bowl game. Hopefully you don't draw a really good team again. But you just need to split the last 4 games to make a bowl. All right, so we save players of the game. And we're actually going to stay right in the Sun Belt as we've got Cocoa and FIU on tap. Georgia Southern, who is ranked in the top 18, I think the highest rank of his career. So we are going to see. I don't know if Coco is here or not. You can pick kick or receive, no heads or tails. And if the previous two games are any indication, FIU is going to win this one. So let's see if Josh Johnson can get it done. Georgia Southern has kind of been running through the Sun Belt this season. His only loss came in double overtime to Buffalo. Yes, Southern Georgia. Even though they are in the upper middle of Georgia, they are called Georgia Southern. Don't make no sense. So it should be like Middle Tennessee State, Middle Georgia State. But we are here, Allen E. Paulson Stadium. I don't see anything from Coco, so it's just going to be a kick. I think you have to be an alum to be a school like that, you know, especially if you're in the South. But first quarter, how is this going to shake out? 3 points to start for Georgia Southern, but they give up a quick touchdown, but they get one back and they miss a field goal, or a missed extra point. So 2 missed extra points today as International takes the lead. Georgia Southern, though, takes it right back. Only a 2-point lead here at halftime. This one is getting nervous. You got to start puckering those butt cheeks as another failed drive, and Florida International took the lead, and they extend it to 2 scores. They are up 13 now. Can Georgia Southern battle back? And a 4th and 3 pass is dropped by Sammy Watkins. All right, we are still down by multiple possessions, so we are not going to jump in quite yet. Georgia Southern needs to punch this one in. 4th and goal, 3rd and 8. And he is sacked for a 5-yard loss. An FIU that may have done it. And it looks like they are kneeing it out, and Georgia Southern takes the loss. The underdogs are going crazy here on BearCave. Fairweather, Geeter again. Couple missed opportunities for Georgia Southern. Multiple 4th down red zone attempts. Looking like Virginia out here. Josh Johnson on the ground. Sammy Watkins dropped a couple passes. Brooks Clint, Kyle Brookins tackle for loss. Tough day at the office for Coco as they will lose to Florida International, and I'm not sure how or if that's going to shake up the standings in the Sun Belt. Three games, 3 underdog victories. This BearCave is giving us some crazy results that the sim games actually weren't really giving us this week. So next up, we have Texas at TCU. This is really kind of a 50-50 matchup. We haven't really seen Texas since they beat Penn State in week 1 game day, Coach Dave, and against Mango, who has a really good offense but a really bad defense. So Dave, since you are here, you get priority. Kick. Let me know heads or tails. Kick or receive. Texas versus TCU. There is Coach Maple Mango. The team of Maurices against TCU. This would be a big victory for TCU. Really a must-win for both teams if they want to not sweat out bowl eligibility late in the season. So heads in kick for Coach Dave. He wins the toss and he's going to kick. TCU wanted the ball anyway, so no big deal. First quarter, nothing doing on that first drive. TCU scores. So TCU's defense looking good in the first quarter as they take a 10-point lead and they give up a field goal. TCU playing well, and the offense continues. What is this defense? What happened to the no DBs? 31-3. Oh my God, Texas, what are you doing? A massive, there's the lack of defense. My God. All right, are we going to see an epic collapse here? I do not see it happening. Down 25 points. And there it is. God, what happened in this one? Check the scoring summary and stuff. Anthony Black got a 27-yard run. Maurice Young got a catch. Oh boy, if I look at that right, Larry Durbin may have gotten hurt. I'm not quite sure, but Melvin Stratton came in. Maurice Young had a big day. Frank Beamer. George Lentz had himself a good day. Sonny Myers, 7 tackles. Myron Gibbs, SFA player, 2 tackles for loss. Mustafa Farouk didn't really do anything. And let's check on TCU. Massive win. Not really anything doing from Anthony Black. Jason Mitchell, 3 touchdowns. So it looks like they just got it done on the ground. Speedy Gonzalez, 3 for 80. 4 sacks from Chris Murphy. Holy smokes. So that's what the defense was able to get a lot of pressure today. 5 total sacks. So Mango comes in clutch. Honestly, I feel like that, I'm not going to say that the upsets continued, but the shocking results continued. I thought that was going to be the closest game on BearCave today. And TCU just destroyed them. And some unique players of the game. These wouldn't be the players that you would think. So, anyone who thinks they know anything about anything, tune into this BearCave. As next up, though, we got the Sickos game of the week. Virginia and Pittsburgh. This game is massive. With the way the Coastal is kind of shaken out, these two teams, the winner is going to kind of be in the driver's seat for the division. So get your Bob and Us out. We are going to do a Ty Montgomery rushing yards here. Currently the SFA leading rusher. And this is going to be an over-under. So is Ty Montgomery going to get over 150 or under? Now, this is rushing yards only, not total yards. Doesn't matter about touchdowns. Get your Bob on us out. We got 1 minute. Will Ty Montgomery get over or under 150 rushing yards? And Munami said he is going to miss. So, but he already told me heads and receive. So he does get priority over Coach Crew here. So use your Bob and Us. It is a split perfect 50-50. We're going to wait here a second. I will show you guys some of their ranks here. The number 2 rushing offense in the country, but the leading rusher is Ty Montgomery. I would probably go with the over here. You're at home. It's a big game. You got to lean on that running game. Ty Montgomery having one hell of a season. That would be my choice. But don't listen to me. I'm not responsible for your lost Babanas. All right, a massive matchup here in the ACC. And Virginia does have their quarterback back. But that's the #1 pass defense. Pittsburgh doesn't even like to pass. Pittsburgh is a rushing team. Even though they have Gene Dangus. Oh, baby, what a game this is. We are here at Heinz Field with the tiny-ass logo in the middle. Just in time. Let's go. I got your heads and receive. Do you want to change that, Munami? Heads and receive. If I don't see anything in 5 seconds, I'm going to do what you said in DMs. 5, 4, 3, 2. Heads and kick, actually. All right, so he's switching it up today. You don't win the toss anyways, but they want the ball. All right, so Pittsburgh thinking they can just give it right to you. A little disrespect here from Pittsburgh. As we start out, Virginia does get on the board first. Strong start for Virginia. Maybe the #1 defense is coming through as Virginia extends to a 2-score lead, but Pittsburgh gets on the board in that quick response, and they take the lead before half. No, a 75-yard rush by Jonathan Matthews. Crazy how he gets a 75-yard touchdown on the last play of the half, but against Syracuse, he couldn't even get a yard on like 30 attempts. All right, as we go into the second half here, Pittsburgh, this is now turning into a potent offensive matchup from both sides. 28-28, 35-28. We got a good one brewing. But Pittsburgh currently has the lead, and they cannot extend it. So it's a 1-score game. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty, and they score a touchdown, a long one, another long one to tie it up. As we head to the 2-minute mark, a 4th down for Pittsburgh. That's not what you want to see. They have to punt it back. As we head to the 2-minute mark, here we go. A 3rd and 6. Virginia has the ball. Rodriguez is backed in. Oh, it's a missed extra point. I didn't even see that. So Virginia is down now. Number 98, Rodriguez. Why is he number 98? What is going on here? Brad Harrison with the 1st down. This Jacob Rodriguez is a fully different quarterback that we did not see. I don't know why he's number 98, but guess what? He is. How do you miss a game-tying extra point? As now you got Jonathan Matthews here. He rushes for 2. Or no, Derek Hill is now in. So maybe Jonathan Matthews got hurt. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. Iowa has not played yet, Jarkus. They are coming up on the right side of the bracket. This is currently the Sickos game of the week. As Rodriguez, he is going to take off. That is a massive burst of speed up the middle. Jacob Rodriguez for 14, and they look to potentially be in field goal range. Lacoby Dean, SFA player on the tackle. They are threatening the 20. They're going to run it again up the middle and stopped again. I think this now comes down to, is Virginia going to give Pittsburgh time on the clock? The fact that this game is not tied may actually favor Virginia. Pittsburgh will not use their timeouts. As Rodriguez, he floats that over the middle. It's going to be another 1st down, and they are going to be able to take this down to 3 seconds if they like. And they are starting to run clock here. So this is going to be the last play before a field goal attempt. First and goal for Virginia. They hand it off, and he finds some room. Touchdown, Virginia. They take the lead with 13 seconds left. And you got to think Pittsburgh just let them waltz in, as we should get a 2-point conversion attempt here. Hand up the middle, and he does not get it, so a touchdown will win it here for Pittsburgh. Rafi Springs on the tackle, the SFA player. But yes, only SFA recruited quarterbacks get to choose their numbers. In-game recruits do not. They are going to... So Ty Montgomery, only 81 yards on the ground, so those Babanas overs, unless we get a long rushing touchdown here, are going to be sad today. 13 seconds left. Does Pittsburgh have some magic? It's going to be a screen pass, and oh my God, Ricardo Joseph was almost killed. Luckily, that didn't really take any time off the clock, only 2 seconds, as now they've got to spread it out. We are only halfway through BearCave. And they're going to dump this one off. Time's ticking away. Tick, tick, tick. He does get out of bounds with 4 seconds left. 3rd and 4. We're going to see how far Ricardo Joseph can throw it. They need a 69-yard touchdown to win it here. Coach Crew. They do bring a corner blitz. He throws it as far as he can. And it's incomplete, and Virginia is going to survive despite missing the game-tying extra point. They end up winning it, and the Sickos Game of the Week delivers. Virginia will take control of the division. Jonathan Matthews, have yourself a game. That was the biggest floater ever. That was like a perfectly thrown Hail Mary if you're at the 50. But you got to laser that and get them behind the defense, right? What a game. I think at 5-2 now, you know, Virginia may deserve a ranking, especially after seeing how competitive they were against Syracuse. And Syracuse seems to be for real this season, so we will see. Pittsburgh, that was a great game. Unlucky finish, unfortunately. Let's take a look at how this even happened. But as time expires, 75-yard run, that is a ball buster. And then the missed kick, just such an ouchy way to lose. Rodriguez coming back, 3 interceptions and 3 touchdowns. Matthews obviously is that dude, though. He came in so clutch for this team today. And on defense, did Seven Cloud do anything? And no, he did not. All right, let's take a look at Pittsburgh. Ricardo Joseph had himself an all right game, 50%. You'd like that to be a little better. Ty Montgomery, though, I mean, only averaging 4.4. Really not what you needed from him. Gene Dangus had himself an all right game. Montgomery only getting 1 catch. Just a tough way to lose. Lacobe Dean, SFA player, got himself an interception. Rafi Spriggs. Michael Bennett didn't do anything. 1 tackle for loss, I guess. So, but that game definitely delivered. That was a fun one here. Welcome in Mrs. Dogwater. Is Coach Dogwater going to choke another game? He is back in Tucson, so there's always a chance at a tragedy. Kick if you win the toss. Oh, baby. Here we go. Time for all of us to point and laugh at Dogwater when he gets smoked here. Jay Jetta's the graphic on the bottom is up next after the stream. We're only halfway through BearCave right now, buddy. But yes, we are on the right side. And let me get you guys your Bob and us here. As the under did hit. And that was actually the lesser chosen one. So obviously life is too short to bet the under. But you should have here today. No rain down in Tucson like practice earlier this week. Yeah, we still got the full right side of BearCave. I should put probably game day under up next. So people who are joining in don't get confused. But yeah, brand new bottom line. I'm kind of switching it up this week just to see how it works. Let me know how you feel about it. Yes, monsoon or a haboob. Dogwater is definitely a great term to describe his coaching. He is a haboob. All right, so you said if you win, you want to kick? Doesn't matter, you don't get to choose. All right, Josh Gamara. What does he have in store for us today? Arizona gets a quick touchdown to start it out, and they go up 10 quickly in the first. All right. So it looks like they're putting their woeful days against Washington behind them, but hold your horses here. USC can score a lot in a hurry, but up 13 at halftime. Dogwater is probably hyped. And a goal line stop or an interception or something, and 13-point lead going into the fourth quarter. And there it is. Unfortunately, the first 4 games of BearCave Coco were upsets. You were in a first 4 game of BearCave, so. But Dogwater, he pushes it back to a 2-score game. Can USC make this interesting? And a punt from Janikowski from the 42-yard. All right, we are almost to the 2-minute mark. I don't want to skip too much here in case there is a touchdown. Obviously, we want to be able to watch a potential onside kick, and they do score a touchdown. So here we go, down 7. They still have 3 timeouts, so another onside kick situation for the day. Is Dogwater going to choke again as Arizona looks to have the ball? Majon Wright snags that one, but Gamara has to get a first down. We've seen 2 games this season where Arizona chokes when it seems to be over. Have they put it behind them? They're 2 plays away from being 6-1. Josh Gamara. We saw his formation in practice earlier this week. They just handed off to Rocker up the middle in a massive hole. And the timeouts start flying. A first down could win the game for Dogwater. Gamara in the pistol, hands it off. No, Gamara's going to keep it. He gets the first down. And the timeout's still flying. It looks to be over here. Looks like Arizona may have held on. Still a couple plays, though, for them to fumble and mess it up. Hand it off to Rocker. Up the middle. And they are just running it down their throats. Looks like the Trojans will be dropping out of the top 25 this week. Could Arizona get ranked with 3 losses? 2nd-1, though. They are just going to hand it off. And a hurdle. Oh, my God. That was risky. If he would have gotten hit while in the air, that could have changed the entire game. But another first down. It looks like Rocker may have just clinched this game. And here they are, victory formation. Dogwater has done it. Barring some ridiculousness, they knock off USC, and the upsets continue to fly all over BearCave. Congratulations, Dogwater. Yeah, they are not going to run a real play again. You got to have Miss Dogwater watch more often. And there it is. The monkey may have just gotten off Dogwater's back. Josh Gamara, 3 touchdowns. But horrible completion percentage, and I'm sure plenty of turnovers. Majon Wright with a clutch recovery, and USC goes down. So the South may have just gotten a lot more interesting. Obviously, Stanford does leave the South currently, but you have USC, you got Arizona now, and then obviously ASU is always a risk, and Jared Lorenzen should be coming back soon. He was questionable this week. He did not play. All right, let's see what went down this week. Wishbone got a touchdown. Janikowski. Lazard moving him back to tight end 1. Looks to have paid dividends. You couldn't cover Manjack the 4th. Gamara, no interceptions. All right. So Rocker, let's see if Gamara had a fumble, please. Dang it. Boo. 21 broken tackles in a week? What the hell? Rocker going crazy. Wishbone had a decent week. Only 2 catches for Lazard, but he got in the end zone. And that may be all you need. Chantrell Key popping off. Poe Castle 4 tackles. Don't see anything from our boy, the safety. So, I mean, maybe they didn't even really need the safety. But a big win there for Arizona. So, the next game up for me was kind of like a pretty much guaranteed win for Flame, honestly. Like, I don't see after, if you watched last week game day, Louisiana just kind of looked terrible. But with all these upsets brewing, who the heck knows what's going to happen with this one. So, and the starting running back for Illinois, Doug Chonkla, will not be playing. So, Flame, I see you here. I don't see Dirty Bird, so I'm going to give it to you. Let me know, kick or receive. Both teams really in need of another big victory. These are the type of wins where if Flame finishes, 10-2, 11-2 or something, that could propel him into a potential playoff spot. Yes, Dirty is still alive. I forgot to update my alt. I don't know what that means. Oh, ha ha ha. Dirty is definitely not my alt, especially if you were watching game day last week. He was, in chat and everything, so. All right. Illinois back at home. Mike Allstott will get the start at running back, so very interested to see how they perform, and they're already up 28-0. My God. So it looks like Houston might have just completely broken Louisiana's back of confidence, but hold your horses. Louisiana kind of coming back here. Quick touchdowns, but it looks like the defense is just terrible. Fourth quarter here, 45-26, and it just doesn't look like This is a team that just, in the sim, they seem great, but they can't get it done on BearCave or anything. 55-26, and it looks like Louisiana will go unranked. Flame is definitely cooking. So Collier started it out, then Miles Scott. Pee Wee Hop got a touchdown. So Collier, two teams that had really bad game days, both come through. Holman got a touchdown. Then you had a returned kickoff. Then Shane Acho got involved a little bit, and Allstott finally got a touchdown. Collier, best game of his season for sure. Allstott, kind of what you expect. He's a 3-yard carry guy. He's just going to fall forward. Pee Wee Hop having a great game. Davis Holman. Nigel Pancake has 6 pancakes. You love to see that. Kyle Horry and Marquise Thompson. And where is our boy Vince Wilfork? No sacks for him. And then let's take a look at Louisiana. Sorry, I had to do an auto mod thing or whatever. Definitely a lot of teams that can potentially get ranked this week. Daryl Jackson, and once again, another poor performance for Nidair Finley. So he's kind of fallen off here in the second half of the season. Shane Acho finally showed up. He was non-existent in the, game day game. Darrent Williams and Bobby Chalk both getting a lot of tackles. And yeah, that kind of how I expected that game to go. So Illinois now. So 2 G5 contenders, Georgia Southern, Eastern Michigan, and now Louisiana all went down this week. So the G5 race for the auto bid got a lot less stressful this week. Obviously, we still need Buffalo to lose a lot, but we'll take a couple losses here and there. All right. So, as we now continue here, we got Northwestern and Iowa. So, Jarkus, if you're here, let me know if you want to kick or receive. We're going to see Mr. Richardson. Iowa definitely, after a struggling start to the year. Let's go, GCU! Grand Canyon University coming in at 23. I love a good Grand Canyon University. Rank GCU. All right. Richardson, now the undisputed starter. Kick if you win the toss. And GCU is #1 in the country. Absolutely. Rank the antelopes, boys and girls, if you know what's good for you. They do have a really cool team builder, so if you ever want a fun team builder with cool uniforms and stuff, use GCU. As first quarter, 7-3, Northwestern, the team that flies under the radar a lot. And, man, they are just giving it to Iowa here in the first half, but they get a touchdown. So it's definitely not over to the Fat Lady Sings. We saw them come back against Michigan State last week, and here they go again. So down 2 scores. They really need something. They don't get the 2-point conversion, so it is still a 2-point game here. And another one. The defense just can't come through. But another quick touchdown. 4th down, down by 9. It's obviously still. And they get a first down. So 2 scores here. I can't go farther. 4th and 7. All right, they have the ball here. They really, and an interception from Richardson. That's not what you want to see. And that is probably going to do it here as Northwestern gets it done. I think Iowa may be another year away from competing, but the way Jason Richardson is playing is really is a big W. Jason Richardson, he is a redshirt freshman at 86 overall, and he is playing very well. So, you know, and Chaz Ralph going crazy. Fun fact, Chaz Ralph transferred on his own. He was in the original generated class. He committed to USC after 1 year, transferred to Iowa. So Chaz Ralph is a transfer on his own. He was like an 80 overall. 3 touchdowns for him. And then Tom Ankerman, SFA player. And then Johnny Booth, tackle for loss. So your SFA players making some plays. Nobody hates Iowa, boys. Come on now. We love Iowa. I'd love to see a really good Iowa team. Come on, Jarkus. You just need a couple more recruits this week. Yeah, Richardson, I'm super hyped for his career. Just a little too much Northwestern, I'm afraid. And honestly, that division is probably going to be one of the toughest to win in the country. It's just going to be a slaughter. So as we head into the final game of BearCave today, BearCave's kind of going a little fast today. No, actually, I think we're kind of on track. But this is a big one. 5 of our 6 undefeated teams have won today. Washington, 2 close games in a row. Get your Bob and us out. I'm not going to start the game until we get this. Who wins? Washington or California? Is Chad Blunt going to stay perfect? Get your Bob and us out here, boys. There is no spread or anything. This one definitely could have had potential for game day. It's one of those where it is CPU versus CPU. We do have some good SFA players on California, really just Chad Blunt. Washington, though, they've made the playoff 2 years in a row, but their offense, outside of the one game they had against Baylor where they won last year, their offense is always so bad on game day. So I think them being the main event on BearCave was definitely a decent spot. While we're waiting for this poll, it's actually very even. A lot of Babanas on the line. My God. We got easily 15K being slung around. But up next, we're gonna go through next week's games, and then we'll have about a 5-10 minute break, and we'll come back with game day, which is gonna be the Minnesota Golden Gophers and Coach Jay Jettas going to the Swamp to face Florida Gators. After that, obviously, I'm going to post all the games and the BearCave standings, or the conference standings, and then we'll get into recruits. All right, so the poll is ended. Let's get into the main event here. Can Cal stay undefeated? Well, we have 6 undefeated teams going into the last 4 weeks of the season, the last month. Washington's had a few down losses, but then they've also had a couple games where they just seem like a playoff team again, where they beat Dogwater like 44-7. A couple of other teams. Cal struggled the last few weeks, but they've gotten away with a win. Will Chad Blunt put out another masterful performance? This man making his case for freshman All-American. I love Chad Blunt. I was so glad to see like a quarterback not go to like Georgia or Ohio State or one of those teams. He went to Cal, right? I didn't realize he'd play freshman year either. CJ Irons is definitely up for it. I think there's 2 freshman All-American quarterbacks. I don't really remember. So we'll see. But it's a battle between those 3, Gamara, Irons, and Blunt. But how is this one going to turn out? A quick touchdown for Cal, and they stall out in opposing territory. So only 7-0 here. Cal goes up 2 scores. Looks like Washington, though, they do respond. They finally get something going. And at halftime, only a 7-point lead for the number 4 team in the country. They are used to these closer games. They miss an extra point there, but they head into the fourth quarter, same as Dogwater, up 13. Can Cal hang on? Washington, though, and they stall out. So 13 points. We are just going to make sure to go close. Fourth down for Chad Blunt, and they are going to have to punt it. Still 2 scores, so we're not going to jump in quite yet. And a turnover on downs, and we got some knees going. And that is going to do it. Cal wins again. Every undefeated team made it through this week. Not much scoring here. A low-scoring BearCave game. Chad Blunt did what he had to do. He was super efficient. He only ran the ball twice. They really just ran the ball down their throat. So not really need to do anything to the fullback. So Nick Jones, I guess, starting at a running back for them right now. I'm not sure if they have an injury or what, but just ramming it down their throat with the fullback. Kind of taking a page from Dogwater's book. My God. You'll take that. Mike and B-Dog are like, what playbook are they running? How do I get 46? And only 15 yards for Sawyer Rationelli. Obviously, the 4th and 20 is an iconic play in SFA history in the playoff. But this team does drop to 3 losses. So depending on like tiebreakers and stuff, Cal may be looking at wrapping up the division potentially next week or even this week. But yes, fullbacks getting 46 carries. You love to see it. That is truly a Mike stat line. But I think this is the most undefeated teams we've ever had this late in the season. Yeah, let me complete your Bobanos here. California did win this one. And as always, before we end the BearCave stream, I do want to give you guys a glimpse at next week's games. Week 10 is going to be the final week where you cannot have a duplicate game day. So after next week, starting week 11, we may see teams for the second time in the season. Fortunately, it is impossible for me to resim games as I keep autosave on. But yes, so we are down to one more game. And guess what, guys? If you want more Bobanos, go into the game day game. A lot of people don't, and there's a ton of missed opportunity for Bobanos. So you got Minnesota and Florida here. We'll see that game here in a little bit. But for week 10 here, Stanford at Arizona. Remember, Arizona's already had a game day, so this is ineligible. Remember, week 10 is the final week. Buffalo at Eastern Michigan. This one will be on BearCave. That should be a good one. Georgia Tech and Pittsburgh. That actually could potentially be on game day. UAB Southern Miss. Texas Tech, Kansas. Illinois, Minnesota. Arizona State now gets a shot at USC. Georgia Southern gonna bully their little brother here. This one should be another fun one. Central Michigan, Northern Illinois, who has 2 back-to-back losses. Cal looks is probably going to stay undefeated there. Texas State taking on D Sleep. Another tough game, tough draw for him there. Virginia Tech, 2 upset wins in a row. ULM is going to try to take out Houston, so not a lot of great games looking here. Cincinnati. So a lot of like really good teams against really bad teams going on. Michigan and Michigan State. This might find its way there. Virginia takes on Duke. Duke may be the best 0-8 team of all time. You got Coastal Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. South Carolina looking to rebound against Arkansas, who is having himself a game. This one could be on game day as well. Syracuse and Clemson. That one will be on BearCave because Syracuse is ineligible. Skook against Ole Miss. Maryland takes on Ohio State. Florida State and Miami. Utah and UCLA. Wyoming and New Mexico. And that's going to do it for those games. All right. So, everybody, VODs will be available a little bit later. I'm going to take about a 5-minute break to get game day all set up for you guys. And we will be right back. Thank you guys all for watching. See you in a few.